Chair recognizes Alderman Raymond Lopez.
Good morning, Mr. President, members of the City Council. I rise in support of this resolution and this recognition of our guests here who, through their actions over their lifetime, have contributed not just to the Black experience, but to the Chicago experience. Though I wasn't asked, I'd be remiss if I didn't recognize some of the pillars of my ward, representing a diverse ward that includes many African Americans. Individuals who, like Faye Dickens, who works at Marquette Elementary Schools, like a den mother for the children. Evangeline Wynubian, who's a frequent attendee of our city council meetings, resident of West Englewood, and someone who's worked to ensure that the lived Black experience is taught to younger generations. Gwen Johnson, who is one of my senior council members in the community, continues to find ways to build a bridge for seniors in the neighborhood. And Verna Swan, who as a part of We Grow Chicago, continues to find ways to bring people in the neighborhoods together. But as we are sitting here today, and as the question I pose that's been referenced numerous times, we cannot, Mr. President, simply talk about history. Because if we are only looking at what was, we are going to miss what can and should be. We heard from many of our speakers earlier today, including someone whom I personally believe never gets the recognition he deserves for being a part of the living Black history, Mr. George Blakemore, who though I will be the first to admit, sometimes his words sting, but his passion may be raw, but it is real, because his questions have always revolved around three things: goods, contracts, and jobs. Mr. Blakemore, like so many before him, like so many here with us today, have always advocated to ensure that Chicago's African American community, Chicago's Black Chicagoans, are not forgotten, excluded, or left out. So much so that while we are sitting here today recognizing our heroes, we are currently suing one of them now for speaking out. So the challenge while I'm standing here today, Mr. President, is to you and to your administration to drop the charges against George Blakemore for doing what everyone does on behalf. Thank you. And while we are here, while we are recognizing where we have come, where the Black community has come, yes, we should take note that our mayor, our vice mayor, our treasurer, half the chairman are all African American. And nearly half of every department head in the city of Chicago is African American. So I say to all of you, then what problem is there within the community that we cannot fix? It is fair to say that when you have all the levers of power at your disposal, the only excuse is the one we don't want to say, which is that we are choosing not to uplift when we are in complete control of what can happen. I know some have said, I have no right to question. That's fine. But I also was told that I have to do what I have to do to stand up for the Black people. You don't get it both ways in this room, contrary to what everyone seems to think. So if you want allies to stand up and defend and fight and push to ensure that what everyone else has enjoyed, the community is allowed to enjoy too, then you're going to hear it from people like me too. Because I represent not just Latinos, but African Americans as well. And when they come to my ward night, everything that I say here is a reflection of everything they say in my conference room, not 2 feet in front of me. They want to know why our contracting opportunities are not reflective of their demographics, why all of Latino women, African American, Asian have to rely on 26 and 6 when African Americans and Latinos make up 2/3 of this city. why we are still refusing to have a discussion about the Friedman classification for our bid and contracting opportunities, something that's been brought up now to 2 different mayors. There is definitely much work to be done, Mr. President. I believe that it can happen. I believe that many of our residents want it to happen because that is what we should be taking care of. Chicagoans, first and foremost, who've been waiting for their time. This is your time. The question is, who will rise up to meet the moment? Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you.